Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Okay, now let's start this way. Why is the ground rent payment a focal point of the FCTA at this time, and why were debts allowed to accrue for decades?
Well, it has been like that. It is now that we're having a minister of FCT that is taking developmental issues, infrastructural development, and everything seriously, and to achieve some of these things. So a payment like this has to be made. You want government to do this and do that and do the other things. The only way government can do some of these things is when people pay revenue to government, and one of those revenues is ground rent. And you ask why government allow it to. You see, Nigeria, you and I know that we have issues with compliance. We always say ground rent is not what government should begin to run after. Landowners, property owners to collect. It is stipulated. It is stipulated that it has to be paid every year, January of every year, without demand. So government don't even have reason to. Government does not have to demand for it before it is paid. Unfortunately, we are in a country where compliance is almost zero. We wait for government to tell us, even in some cases. Some people will tell you that government did not tell them to clean their environment. So you also need government to begin to enforce cleaning of environment where people live. It is so funny.
Well, but then was there any adequate communication and probably time accorded to the owners of the property to come up with the money for payments?
You see, we started publicizing this since 2024. We started almost 1 year telling the public this has to be done, this has to be done. So, and as at March 18 that we did a press briefing telling the public about this, we had over 8,000 people, 8,000 property owners. That is, we are talking about this area alone. This city center alone, whereas we are not talking about other places. We are not talking about Lokogoma, we are not talking about Kubwa, we are not talking about Lube and all of that yet. We are not talking about Guaripa, we are talking about Maitama, Gusape, Wuse, Asokoro. That is where we are talking about now. And people living in these other areas that I've mentioned, it is also for them to know that it will get to them one day. It will get to them.
Okay, now we know that the ground rent is a statutory obligation stipulated in the C of O and R of O provision under Section 28, subsections 5 and 5A and 5B of the Land Use Act. But then some people are saying that shouldn't it be reviewed to actually give people a bit of reprieve in this economic situation when we know that the FCTA already gets allocations from the federal government?
You see, it is always good for us to talk about economic situation. But how do we explain that people did not pay ground rent for 43 years? How do we explain that people did not pay ground rent for 20 years, for 30 years, for 15 years? So are we, okay, you want to talk about, the economic situation now. Was it also because of the economic situation of now that they did not pay in the last 20, 30, 40 years? So it's just a function of people not willing to comply with some of these things. The moment you are getting land allocation, there are conditions stated. Because you don't get land allocation, it is not on condition. It is not on conditional offer. It is conditional. There are conditions to be met. It is just like you are a member of you are a lawyer and you are a member of NBA. You have to pay membership fee every year. If you don't pay, it means that for that year you cannot lay claim to be member of NBA, for instance. So if you don't meet those conditions, it is automatic that you have failed to meet this condition for which this land was allocated to you, and it is normal that you forfeit, you lose it.
We know that these about 8,000 defaulters are to pay roughly about 1,000, about 1 million rather. But then people will say that can't it be a gradual process, a gradual approach to give them some sort of a soft landing, such as maybe paying fines, partial payments, temporary leases?
That is why what we did in March this year was we discovered over 8,000 people, over 8,000 defaulters. Then we categorize them. Those who have not paid, those who are owed for like up to 10 years, 1 year to 10 years. Those people were okay, let us see, let us give them, and we gave them 21 days to pay. And those who have not paid from 10 years to 43 years, where the properties were revoked. And you see that the government said, okay, those who have not paid, we can give excuse. For 10 years, fine. And the level that we are now is that from those who have not paid from 1 to 10 years, we've achieved some level of compliance. A lot of them have paid. So we are looking at those who have paid and those who have not paid among these people. And those who have not paid among these other people that were given 21 days. The armor of government will also fall on them. And we are saying it now so that they will not come tomorrow and say, well, they were not told. They were given 21 days in March, from March 18 this year. This is May. This is May. We are getting to like the end of May. So this is May 23rd. So you will see that we are running to like 2 months. People that were given 21 days, it is now like 2 months. So we believe that those who are serious among them, those who are law-abiding among them, will have paid, will have complied.
So what about those who, according to reports, have gone to the court over this particular matter?
Well, we are not aware of anyone in court. And assuming they not consider that there are people who have gone to court, the court has not made any pronouncement. So if tomorrow, if court made any pronouncement to the contrary, the FCTA, we comply. But as of today, the revocation done in March starts. And the moment you revoke a property, that property reverts to the owner, the person who gave that allocation. And the person who gave allocation, the entity that gave that allocation in this instance case is the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA. And it is that owner that now know how to say, this is my property. If you are living in a house that belongs to me, I can now say, okay, leave my property. I want to use it for, I want to take possession and use it for whichever I choose to. I choose to.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lere Olayinka, for sharing your thoughts with us.